Hey guys, how's it going? Today, I'm going to be featuring the Friesland, the Tier 7 Pan-European Premium Destroyer. In this game, I am in a division with a carrier division mate, and I am using Friesland with a full anti-air build, something that I featured in one of my shorts previously. But up until now, I haven't really had the opportunity to division someone with someone in a carrier, so I haven't had the opportunity to actually shoot down a bunch of planes. The enemy carrier is a Lexington, so we are going against one of the carriers with more healthy planes. And as you can see, we are still pretty much shredding the enemy planes. Out of this squadron, we've shot down 4 of his 6, and sorry, of his 9, and now at this point I've kind of made a mistake and I'm kind of beached into this island. The enemy submerges does try to shoot at me, but he misses. And I don't really want to just stay spotted for the enemy to continuously shoot. So I've smoked up, but now I am planning on leaving. I know that the submerge was there, so I know I need to use my sonar just in case his torpedoes does show up. And as I use my sonar, there are his torpedoes. The enemy Lexington, for some reason, decides to push in and ends up getting spotted. The carrier drops fighters, and I instantly shoot them down. And as they circle for another pass, my AA starts shooting at them again. The enemy submerged gets spotted by our div mate, so we just start opening up on him, and the submerged versus a Friesland is a one-sided battle. The submerged really has no chance. And we're at just about 12.5 minutes into this game, and I have my Clear Skies medal. The submerged does incapacitate my engine, but I don't damage con until I know that I am safe from the enemy carrier torpedoes. And I damage con to get going again. Since the carrier is pretty much right next to me behind that island, his planes will be returning very quickly. The enemy submerged reverses back into his smoke, but I spot him on sonar, and unfortunately the carrier ends up getting my rudder, so I don't have a damage con, so I can't repair it, so I'm kind of stuck doing this very slight turn in reverse. But Friesland's AA is so good, I shoot down his planes and he doesn't actually get an opportunity to drop me again. And my team's pretty much been shooting the Lexington since he's spotted, and pretty much gonna stay spotted at this point. And yeah, I realize I say at this point a lot. I have 35 planes, and he recalls his full torpedo squadron to drop or launch a bomber squadron that has 1 plane. I am not really sure why he did that, but he did, and it was kind of a waste. This carrier player who continuously came after me and me shooting down his planes very quickly, I don't think he was a very good one. And now we're just gonna fast forward a bit, go towards where the carrier died so I can shoot down the last fighters, and now I'm just gonna head towards the rest of the enemy team. No one on our team has died yet, so I don't think this game is gonna be a loss. And all we do now is simply farm the remaining ships on the enemy team. Nothing really interesting to see, since the enemy carrier has died, and shooting down the carrier planes with our full AA build Friesland was pretty much the whole reason to try and make these videos. And now we are just gonna do our destroyer thing. The last enemy ship gets spotted, and all 9 of our ships are just gonna be chasing him down. And luckily he gets spotted by our carrier, who's basically just hovering over him so we can kill him off. He does go unspotted for a second, but he does get spotted again, and our entire team is just shooting at him, and he will die here. And yeah, this was definitely a one-sided game. The difference a carrier that knows what they're doing makes can definitely sway the battle a lot. We did 58,000 damage, not the greatest, and we did shoot down 49 planes, which was kind of the reason for this video, the full AA build Friesland and showing what it could do. And the Friesland is definitely the best AA destroyer in this game, and honestly, arguably the best AA ship in terms of being able to shoot down the enemy planes while not taking damage from the carrier. Obviously, there are battleships with great AA that can definitely shred planes and cruisers that can do it, but at the same time, them being spotted and getting shot at, I feel like you have a much better chance in this ship than any of those ships. And here you can see that I had both AA mods in the first and fourth slot, which honestly makes the AA capabilities of the Friesland insane. But now we're going to move on to the second game, where I actually did, I guess, more as a destroyer, since there are 5 of them on the enemy team, and I can actually showcase this ship's capabilities of it being a good DD hunter and an anti-air platform that pretty much creates an air bubble that the enemy carrier does not want to get near. Fortunately, there is only 1 cruiser on the enemy team and 2 battleships. I am still in the division with the same people, and there is another carrier, so I can showcase how you should be playing the ship in a match that there are carriers and multiple destroyers. So the first thing I do is pretty much smoke up and try to farm the Iowa, trying to help out our carrier teammate by trying to destroy as much AA as possible on their ship that has the most AA. They do have a Friesland, but he is not spotted yet, and we really have no idea where he is yet. And the Iowa is the immediate threat. Their Friesland does get spotted over towards the middle, but right now their Iowa is just gonna receive our attention. Our carrier divmate was just not gonna make any attempt on the Friesland without support, so he has no intention of going back to spot him, and instead he will be focusing on these battleships that's over here on our flank. Their Iowa is playing still, I'm not sure what's really happening. He is just getting absolutely farmed and is just not really making any attempt to do something useful. Enemy destroyer torpedoes get spotted, and our friendly destroyer, who wants to sit in my smoke, ends up eating those torpedoes and ends up getting death struck. And I just spammed the comms wheel. Nice work, because that was honestly one of the worst things I have seen in this game. How poorly that was played and how clueless some of these players are is honestly kind of a joke. The Iowa ends up dying to our fire, and I get an arsonist. Unfortunately, I don't get a double strike since Bravo had killed off the destroyer. When this happened, I was very confused because I thought I had actually killed the destroyer, but I didn't. The Fiji is pushing in very aggressively, so I am trying to get out of here, although considering that I do have help, this might actually be a good opportunity for me to actually try to get closer to the island. And if the Fiji isn't careful, he will come around the corner broadside to me, and the Friesland's AP at close range will definitely be the Citadel cruisers, especially Fiji. So I am just trying to keep a close eye on where those shells are coming from. Fiji gets spotted, and I stop shooting the enemy Gneisenau because I do not want to be spotted and alert the Fiji too early. The Fiji does get smacked, and just like I predicted, he comes around the corner broadside, and I end up citadeling him a bunch of times and killing him off. The enemy Gneisenau, I start farming, but their Friesland is still pretty much right here, and the smoke right next to me starts fading, and I am trying to reverse behind the island away from the Friesland to try and mitigate the engagements that I am dealing with. An enemy Akatsuki does show up right next to me, and I end up killing him off. Unfortunately, I am set on fire and don't have a damage con for the fire and my engine, so I'm just gonna be sitting here until my damage con comes off cooldown. I do need to be careful if this Friesland does decide to push me, because if he does, then I am in big trouble, especially since I don't have maneuverability whatsoever. As soon as my damage con comes off cooldown, I need to damage con my engine, but I don't actually push out immediately. The Friesland does get spotted, so it gives me a lot of intel on where I can actually move without dying and getting shot at. The Friesland, continuously gunboating, has been trading fairly poorly. He's been getting chunked, and from the last time we were shooting at him, he was fairly full HP. Torpedoes show up out of nowhere, so I do know there's another destroyer nearby. And I just start opening up on this Friesland since he's not paying attention to me. And the Friesland ends up dying. And there he goes. Now we're at 87,000 damage and 4 kills and 3 enemy ships remaining. Currently, my div mate in the carrier and I have all the kills for our team. And after killing this Friesland while shooting, I am still spotted, so I do know there is an enemy destroyer somewhere, and he gets spotted by our friendly carrier. I'm about to get my sonar off cooldown, and I know the Venom has 16 torpedoes, so this is perfect timing to be able to get my sonar back to detect the Venom's torps. But he's not really paying attention to our carrier and sails in a straight line and gets dev struck. It's difficult to say that carriers are overpowered, especially when destroyer players make no attempt to dodge enemy carrier torpedo planes and ends up getting dev struck. So now, my divmate and I have 7 of the kills of the enemy team, and there's 2 left. Our divmate drops the Kagero and lands 2 torpedoes and nearly dev strikes another destroyer. And we are just gonna pretty much win this game. There's not really a whole lot the enemy team can do. And I'm trying to secure the kill and get a Kraken, but my div mate kills off the Kagero, and now we are both at 4 kills apiece. So now it is a race to finish off the Implacable for a Kraken. But not only are we trying to race to kill off the Implacable and get a Kraken, but we are also trying to kill off the carrier and have all the kills between the 2 of us. And I do set the Implacable on a permafire, which you don't see very often since carrier damage cons last an entire minute. And at this point I'm just hoping I kill him before the enemy does, and my fire gets the last tick of damage and I secure a Kraken. It got pretty sweaty there at the end between Bravo and I, having all 9 kills between the 2 of us and racing to get that Kraken. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Do leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Leave a comment down below for any ships you want to see in the future. But until next time, aloha.